Please welcome to the stage Rob Tarkoff.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the absolute best hour of the week. Always is, we know that, so thank you. But before we start, I just want to remind everyone today is a very special day, 9/11. We were all probably remember where we were, may even know some people who were impacted, and so we never forget. So let's just take 5 seconds, please, for a moment of silence. Okay, thank you and welcome again. The phrase maximizing your potential, that's something that I've always associated with back to school night. Remember that when you were a kid going to back to school night, or when you took your kids? All of those conversations when we did our best helicopter parenting mode, we went in there to talk to the teachers, and we were breathless to ask, what can we do to maximize little Billy or Sally or Deepak or Fong or whatever the name of your child was? What do we do to maximize their potential in this new environment? Well, we are going to have our own version of generative AI back to school night, because so much has happened over the course of 1 year, and we want to shift the conversation now. We've been talking a lot over the last year about generative AI and the POCs we've been running and the potential. We're going to now talk about what we need to do to be ready to embrace the real innovative potentials. And obviously, no one knows this more than Larry Ellison. And for those of you who saw his keynote, you know this is a man and a company that has maximized their potential many times over. Let's just briefly review some of the things he talked about yesterday. He shared with us the OCI advancements around AI, the new open multi-cloud model, how we've adopted partnerships, Cloud Connects with every other hyperscaler now, including AWS. He talked about the incredible innovations in our database 23AI and what we're doing around vector search and powering our application fleet. He talked about code generation from Apex, which is something we've embraced wholeheartedly in CX, to build this next generation of applications that could be generated directly from the database. And we talked about our own Fusion embedded AI, which is now available to all of you, all of the Fusion applications community, at no extra cost. And then there was Steve's keynote today, which was an amazing reminder of the advantages of running Fusion AI. Everything you need, innovation that matters, and committed to your success. And the real customer success that came through in the interviews, all now grounded in your ability to reach your true operating potential with generative AI and Fusion applications. And he talked about how we've moved from simple summarization and language generation to context-specific results using things like retrieval augmented generation or RAG, to independent agents, smart operations, how we're helping the future digital employees in our businesses get work done faster and at higher quality, all embedded in the Fusion experience. And I think it's important just for a minute to restate the differentiation, why we're so confident in the generative AI potential that we're bringing you with Fusion CX. OCI, if we remember, is an attractive place for any LLM to train their models. And as Steve said, we don't predict in the future what's going to be the best model or deliver you the best value, but we do know that they're all coming to OCI to train and to enhance their models. And because of that, we just consume what OCI makes available to us right directly in the Fusion application, in the context of your business process or your workflow, and again, at no extra cost to your enterprise. We've talked a lot in CX over the years about the importance of first-party data, managing your first-party data, stewarding it, organizing, labeling it, making it ready to work on your behalf in the front office, especially in business to business, where first-party data involves complexity, buying groups, lots of different parties. But before generative AI back to school night, which is today, you could have just passively listened to this. You could have said, I'm going to defer taking any action. You know, my data structures, yeah, I know I've got issues, but organizing my first-party data, it's a really hard problem. There's political implications. I don't own it all. I got to work cross-organizational boundaries. It's a political fight. I know it takes work, but this is one of those tasks that's worth doing now if you want to truly embrace the growth and competitive differentiation that we're bringing to you. There are fundamental choices along this path. How do I get this right? How do I build the right strategy? How do I choose the right use case? Most of what you're going to hear today and see from our customers and our development leaders are examples to inspire you along this journey, to help you think about what could you do, what use case could you present to help get your organization behind this mission. We all know today that generative AI is already alleviating friction in our front office workflows. In fact, over half, 52% of all IT developers are already using their own models. They're tuning prompts weekly, if not daily, because most of them are just doing simple proof of concepts. I want to write an email faster. I want to generate a summary of an SR. I want to do something that can help make my front office worker more efficient. But many of these POCs have not yet taken on the task. You saw this in Steve's keynote when he showed sales embedded in an Outlook experience across the entire organization, crossing departmental data silos. All the end-to-end transformation that you care about, that CX can perform for you and that Fusion CX can provide, has to happen by really thinking about this broader data context. Well, what are some of the examples of where you and your organization would need a comprehensive set of first-party data structured in a way that you can use it? Well, in marketing, as an example, this might mean letting AI design a campaign strategy for you, or recommend channels, or build out audiences for you on the fly. And even with our new marketing offering, creating a highly targeted contact list of buyers with all the roles and profiles and attributes defined that allows you to be much more targeted in your ability to market. In sales, this might be generating a detailed account plan that can drive renewals and expansions, or using AI to optimize data-driven pricing and quotes, and determining orchestration steps for a sales rep to take as they move through the sales process. In service, this often looks like automation to proactively predict when a customer has an issue. When do they need help before they even know it, and helping you fix that problem and improve the customer experience before they even know they have a problem. There's enormous potential for AI in CX, but the key is, how are we collectively, as the Oracle CX community, going to take these early use cases, which we've probably all experimented with to some extent, and bridge to the full potential of generative AI? Initially, it was about just being more productive, but in the future, it's about doing things differently in ways we haven't even thought of. In fact, we think in the future, AI and generative AI have the potential to transform your entire front office by tackling new kinds of process automation, recommending new market expansion opportunities. You didn't even know that you should be selling that product to that segment, and AI can tell you how to design a campaign to go make that happen, or optimizing your portfolio of offerings and channels that your customers can sell through. We're on the cusp of automating the entire end-to-end experience across our three key solution areas. And you're going to see that today, some of the new developments and the new releases that we've come out with. So here's the punchline. To move from the early experiments of last year, the productivity summarization, quick hit experiments, to real lasting quality improvements inside your organization, you have to address first-party data management and orchestration first. You have to think about, what about those use cases where I want to combine financial records and purchase history, business data and customer attributes? While traditionally distinct sets of data, they are critical fuel for generative AI suggestions on how to turn your targeting, your messaging. For example, we ran a campaign at Oracle to go target all of those customers who use ERP procurement that would be good candidates for Fusion Data Intelligence. How do we get that level of granularity and segmentation using AI to help us figure out what we need to do to deliver best for our customer? If you're interested in Fusion Data Intelligence, you probably received the campaign in-app. We showed how different customer success stories are actually provisioning instances of Fusion Data Intelligence can be available to highly targeted segments that we used AI to help figure out what was their likely propensity to buy and how could we address them best. We looked at things like how many people had done reporting extracts out of their application, out of their Fusion ERP application, whether they indicated they use another BI tool. This is the level of first-party customer data that's going to be necessary for you to capture inside your organization to take it to the next level. And when you do this, this level of fine-grained segmentation can be possible, and you can organize, curate, and steward your data in a way that unlocks incredible insights. If you've been on the CX Fusion journey with us, you know that it took a lot of work to get to this point. A lot of engineering to unify 14 different acquired products into one core Fusion fleet so that we can now co-deploy all of your front office solutions together in one Fusion suite with all the benefits that the Fusion model brings. And it cannot be overstated how much data from across the business is truly required for you to effectively and accurately learn, detect patterns, make predictions, personalize experiences, and drive quality improvements into your business. Now, here's the problem. A lot of companies are spending time running models against third-party LLMs from different clouds with different siloed data sets. And the problem with this is it costs more and it produces less. Other than that, it's great. We've seen it because we tried it in our own testing cycles. And this is how we protect against data security breaches, but also deliver the performance that you're looking for in your maximizing potential Gen AI initiatives. So, for those in your company that say, I can get the same results, I don't need to centralize my first-party data and organize it, label it, and steward it inside one system. I can just work cross-cloud, cross-database. I ask you to challenge them to show you that they can do it with the same fidelity, price, performance, and accuracy as the model that we are proposing. And we're confident it can't be done and get the results that your company expects. In fact, the best path forward for all of us is to run our embedded AI flows against a single data source for critical first-party data, business transaction data, customer data, and unlock the potential for competitive advantage. We know, as much as we'd like every application you run to be Oracle, we know it's not. But that doesn't mean that your critical customer data that feeds all your applications shouldn't be in one place, secured and activated by a company who understands data the best. We know it's hard. We know there's political, organizational, and technical hurdles to address. But we are asking you to prioritize this journey so we can serve you best. Oracle CX, with this philosophy in mind, builds on a strong foundation of enterprise data and AI because we want to help you differentiate and grow revenue through your customer experience. And as you know, it starts with the most unique and diverse set of technologies. You've heard this a lot this week. I won't spend a lot of time on our vertically integrated stack and the advantages that this brings us. All the OCI advantages become Fusion Apps advantages. But we know this is a great place for you to start. We also know that the way we're capturing telemetry can help you optimize your business to allow you to do things like digital self-service. And you're going to hear this when Kartik and Jim talk about the new buying experience in the case of Kartik, or how we're automating service. We've spent a lot of time over the last year moving our apps into Fusion for 2025, making all the acquired products part of Fusion, and we're ready to build towards the future with a unified set of suites. Marketing and sales unification, thinking about this as one process. Revenue transformation, helping you move your business to subscription. And service automation, thinking about automating end-to-end service flows from agent to technician. We know these are heavy lifts, but we know we have the solutions in place to help you get there. Okay. Leading our teams to discuss this with you are 3 true innovators, and they're going to talk to you about great demos of what we're doing in each of those cases, and you're going to hear from them shortly. But first, let's talk about what's happening in the real world with real world problems and how these 2 customers are transforming their organizations, thinking about data, thinking about generative AI, thinking about business transformation. The first is Debold Nixdorf. Debold Nixdorf is the largest manufacturer of ATMs and ATM services in the United States. They're a financial services powerhouse, touching 1 billion customers a year, providing a steady stream of cash that keeps the wheels of commerce going. I'm excited to welcome Teresa Osterpower, the CIO of Debold Nixdorf, along with Andy Nalapan, the COO of Cloud Software Group, or CSG. Andy's in the new role at a recently formed company, combination of Citrix and Tibco, that formed Computer Software Group. Andy and Teresa, please join me on stage.
Hi.
How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good to
Thanks
see
for
you.
having.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Please have a seat. All right. So, Andy, I'm going to start with you. Welcome.
Thank you.
CSG, let's see, was formed in about 2022, I think, 22.
Yep.
And through the merger, as I mentioned, of Tibco and Citrix, 2 household names in enterprise software. Tell us more about the formation of CSG.
Sure. The CSG is the largest privately held software company. I know, as you said, right? It brought the 2 well-known brand large enterprise companies together, Citrix and Tibco. Citrix is used to buy large enterprises to protect the data, by enabling them to access the data remotely through VDI or SPA, that secured private access, or the browsers there. And while the Tibco, it really adds its strength in do a real-time data management, enabling enterprises to make quick decisions, and securely, directing the data to the right destinations there. The fun here is to bring these 2 large enterprises together and get the synergies and make these companies continue to thrive.
All right, I want to go into the synergies because that sounds like no small job.
Yep.
Teresa, welcome. Tell us a little bit about Debold Nixdorf.
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. So if you've ever used an ATM or retail self-checkout technology, you have likely used our Debold Nixdorf's products and services. So Debold Nixdorf was a merger as well, as Andy talked about. The Debold, it was in 2016. Debold side of the merger was started in 1859, if you can believe that, in bank vaulting. They created bank vaults, and then they evolved and merged into ATMs. The Wincor Nixdorf side of the merger was also a major player in financial and retail technology. So bringing these 2 companies together back in 2016 was a logical choice, and it created the company that is, we talked about, the titan in the financial and retail technology sector. We operate in over 100 countries worldwide. We have over 20,000 employees, and we're just under $4 billion in annual revenue.
Wow. So two very large companies, both the product of merger integration. So I'm sure data and data problems are never on your mind.
Exactly.
As that happens, right. So Andy, let's talk a little bit about forming a new company in enterprise software. You know, there are a number of decisions that you had to make thinking about the lines of business, the data that was unique to those businesses and the applications unique versus the ones that were shared. Tell us about how you approach the problem of, obviously you had a cost savings target. Every merger has a cost savings target. How did you approach that problem?
So Rob, exactly about a year back, I joined this cloud software group. When I came in, what I noticed is these two large companies, they've been there for 3 decades. They've grown, leaders in their space. But what they've done in the processes, they were vertically aligned with each functions, and each leader had their goals. So they drove the process and systems. And in that process, IT built these systems, processes there, and to satisfy or to make each leader successful without looking at the end-to-end. But in that process, what happened is they built an elephant. Okay, once you build an elephant,
I take it that's not good.
That's not good. Yeah.
Okay.
So what happens is then elephant doesn't move fast, right? Then they complain about IT. It should be very familiar to the people from IT there. It's expensive, it's not efficient, not moving there. So what they did, is the interesting thing. Then they started putting more people around that elephant so that they can push the elephant, right? In the process, they started hiding the elephant. So that nobody has noticed the elephant there. So people are pushing it. The only people who notice this thing is the CEO and CFO because it's cost too much money there. So what the quickest solution is? Just move all these to the low-cost location or a best-cost location, and you get the 50% savings. But you have not done a thing about this elephant there. It's sitting over there. And now even you distance the systems from the stakeholders, so it becomes more inefficient. Then you end up adding more people at the low-cost location, then the cost is back to where it was there. So that's why when I came in there, not only I saw this, my boss and CEO saw this too. So we said, let's form this group, operations, and which owns the systems and processes and operations end-to-end together. Bring all this together and look at end-to-end and have the governance, and then transform this elephant into a cheetah so that it can run faster.
Yeah, but it sounds like the key to that was you had to take an orientation to think about data and processes end to end and really get out of the departmental silos. And that was driven,
exactly,
it sounds
like you mentioned.
Down.
You mentioned, right, all the politics and all the stuff there.
Yeah.
That's why you had to organize. Before you organize data, you organize the group. You organize the processes over there. Then you can do about the systems and the data.
Yeah, I'm going to guess there's not anybody who has that problem in their organization, so they're not going to want to talk to you about that.
And this is not only, like I said, for cost savings and efficiency, but most important is this is needed to even take advantage of all the AI, what you talked about it, right? This is what I talk about, is analogies. The AI, a couple of years back, if you look at, there was a Roomba, and now people loved it because it cleans the rooms, house there. Now everybody gets excited to go and buy this. Before thinking, is your house is ready for the Roomba? If you have everything on the floor, all over the places there, it's not going to clean the floor. It's going to just go around and come back and sleep there. You're not getting the value out of it. So this is why we are doing this. It's on top of the cost-saving synergies. We want to make sure our data is organized, our process is organized.
I love it.
Getting
your data house in order is like letting the Roomba work in your house.
Yep.
That's it.
Get the most value.
All right, Teresa, to you. What was Debold Nixdorf's challenge, and where did Oracle come into your customer experience strategy?
Sure. We have our own elephant and Roombas as well. So as you can imagine, bringing two large tech giants together resulted in some IT and business hurdles. We lacked standardized processes from the two companies, right? We had disparate systems, inconsistent data, as you can imagine, and our selling process was a mixture of very manual as well as regional variances and variations. So we had our challenges in bringing these two companies, and we knew to solve the problems, from an objective and operationally, we had to deploy a suite of systems and applications that were going to support us across all products, all services, as well as all regions. So with Oracle's help, we've started the journey, and we've done some things, CPQ and many other suite of applications that have helped us in the selling process. We have our kind of differentiator and sweet spot if we've got hardware, software, and services. So now we're able to actually order, sell, and place all that all in one place. That helps our customers get the value earlier, as well as helps our employees do their job. We centralize the configuration and approval workflow modules such that it cut lead times or lead to order times from many, many days down to minutes. And we've really transformed the service organization from asset maintenance processes to really drive value there. So we're making headway and really having to tackle some of the big challenges there to operate as one company and one organization.
It sounds like bringing two companies together like that, it's ambitious. You're changing, you have a complex selling motion. It sounds like services, hardware, software. You probably targeting economies of scale, but what are you, sorry, pardon the pun, banking on for market differentiation?
Yeah, sure. So as you can imagine, the financial services industry is continuing to evolve. Consumers are, demanding, right? They're getting more verbal on how they want to do business, where do they want to do business, and we know it's important to us to always be on, right? We've got to, because we're in the self-service industry, we've got to have very simplistic customer experiences, that they can do themselves, but also drive that value. So our huge differentiators is what I've talked about, right? We offer a unified suite of products that's hardware, software, and services, and we do that to improve the customer experience and do it at a very cost-effective price point for our customers.
It's great. Andy, you mentioned your approach, the elephant cheetah analogy, and sort of getting your arms around the business process, the applications. But let's talk a little bit about data governance in this transformation. What are some of the methods? I think it would be useful for people to hear. What did you use to ensure teams were working from unified data? And you had one story you told me about how your CEO mandated the way that you were going to create slides for your QBRs. Maybe you could share a little bit about the data governance strategy at CSG.
Sure. One of the things is, how we approach this is, the common terminology people say is the people process technology, right? That's what everybody looks at. What we want to do is reverse the whole thing. Technology, process, and people. First, choose the platform. That's what you're working with Oracle, Fusion there. Have a vertically integrated, system which drives the processes, and now we have a central organization which owns the system and process and data, and now we put in a governance on the quality of the data. Like very well, customer data, how complicated it can be there, and if you don't have the correct customer data, there can be revenue leakage. The sales teams are getting creative to it, So having this central team, having one single vertically integrated system like yours, Oracle, front office system there, you put the process there, then you can have an end-to-end view of the whole system. The data stays closer to the transactions. And then you have people to manage this, enforce the governance there. That's what we're looking at there. And this is why what our CEO says is, if I have the data correct, if the quality is great, then you guys don't have to create slides. So the system will create slides, AI will generate slides, customer slides, the whole 360 there. The data is not just the customer, it's the telemetry, it's entitlements, it's the finance data, it's the opportunities. You bring all this together using your technology. Then when you go to the QBR, you are discussing about the possibilities and opportunities. Our CEO says in that subscription world, the real sales starts after you sign the contract. You have to sell it the whole term of the contract, 1 year, 3 years. For that, you need the data.
Yeah.
And you need the good quality data. And you don't want the data staying in silos, everybody debating about the data.
And
right?
sales and marketing will stop arguing about whose data is correct.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why campaign to cash,
Yeah.
procure to pay, record to report.
Yeah.
We want to have it all well integrated.
That's great.
Singly rather.
Teresa, let me ask you, you just had a recent go live with Oracle Field Service and Fusion Service. Tell us a little bit about, both from a technology and a data perspective, about how that went and
Sure.
what your focus was.
Yeah, so we are investing in our services organization. It's a large component of what Debold Nixdorf is. And as you mentioned, we are deploying Oracle Field Service and Fusion Service underway. We've started with North America, and while we're not done yet, we have deployed several geographies, and we've made tremendous progress, and we're seeing great results there. Things like, I think about scheduling and dispatching of your field service techs and how we've streamlined that with these new capabilities, giving our field technicians the capabilities to do what they need to do while they're out on service calls, right? Giving them access to all customer information, part information, knowledge-based information, the things that they need to do from and using their mobile devices to access that. And then also giving the management team insights into, and a pulse, real-time and proactive pulse on how we're doing operationally from a day-to-day basis, from an hour-to-hour basis. So it's been really, really good. You asked about data and about organizational aspect of that, and you guys all know that it's not just the technology, but it's also the change management. So I want to give a shout out to our business partners and who are in the room, our SI partners, and with Oracle, because we've done a really good job, this team, in looking at the change management aspects. They brought in the local teams that are out there, the SMEs that are out there. They've been involved in the solution from the get-go. They've been involved in testing and in the deployment, so that helps with buy-in. Training is obviously really important. The data that you guys talked about, we've spent a tremendous time, just data validation, making sure that we had the right data in the right places so the system operated effectively. And then last but not least, just inspecting what you expect at launch, making sure that we have a good pulse with the feet on the street, eyes and ears, such that if we need to tweak training, if we need to tweak the system, right, that we can be very nimble and agile in making changes such that the system is successful and we do get the value out of that. And all of that, it's exciting to me because we are seeing an improvement in our customer experience as well as our service efficiency. So it's been really good. We're not done yet.
Right.
More to come, but it's been a great start.
It's great. Well, this was just a teaser of,
Yes.
Of Andy and Teresa's acumen at tackling these huge problems. I'm sure people are going to want to find you after. Thank you both for being here and appreciate your partnership.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Great. All right. So next, I want to welcome on the stage our development leaders who are excited to share with you some of the innovations that they're going to be releasing here across our unified suites. So first, I want to welcome Shrishti Sofat. She leads our product and engineering organization for our marketing automation and customer data platform solutions. Kartik Raghavan owns our portfolio of sales technologies, which we refer to as our revenue capture suite, CPQ, subscription, commerce, Salesforce automation, incentive comp. And Jim DeFranzo, who heads up our service portfolio that lead Fusion Service and knowledge management and field service. Shrishti, Kartik, Jim, please come to the stage. All you guys.
Glad to be here, and in this golden age of AI, we are only as good as your data. So in my team, we are really spending a lot of time and energy on this data foundation and Unity platform. I'm going to show you a couple of innovations on the platform. Here, you're looking at our announcement around a native integration between Unity and Oracle Analytics Cloud. You can slice and dice your data across various industries, across territories, across revenue bands, and really get a good picture of your revenue growth. You can look at product performance, CX data in right there, and get a sense of what's happening. We actually are using Oracle Unity and the OAC integration live at CloudWorld. Our sales and marketing teams are looking at which sessions our customers are attending, from which industries are there, and a lot more, so that we can learn better about what you, our customers, are interested in. With this connected data and intelligence, now you have a complete view of your customers. Now, business teams, marketing and sales are not only looking at Unity to get rich customer data, they also want to get a complete picture of the profile. So that's what I'm very, very happy to announce, this Unity Account Profile Explorer innovation. So what this does is it actually helps you visualize the complete account data so you can actually do account-led growth. So let's take a look at this account profiler by this account example of looking at Healthco, right? So you can look at this, and what we are bringing right on the top here is you've got data from firmographic data, you've got first-party data, third-party data, behavioral data, and also calculated AI attributes right here. Can we just play the video? So we are also looking at, when you look at the account hierarchy, not only do you see Healthco here, you see all the related account hierarchy as well. And you can also take a look at which all product and services this company has bought. Looks like they have diesel, viable, generator, start and power, so all these different products. So you can take a look at what they've got, what's their competitor install base. All of this data is right here. You can also take a look at, okay, it's running a little bit slow, the video. So let me talk about the intelligent attributes that are going on. So the key thing that happens is when you get first-party data, along with behavioral data, in real time, you can create a lot of intelligent attributes and do a lot of decisioning. So that's what kind of helps you out here. And now going back to, I can look at this first-party data on which products this company has, when is it up for renewal, which topics they are engaged in. This is real, how they're engaging on the website. Looks like they're really interested in sustainable energy. Lots of campaign engagement, lots of across contacts, which is good data point. Now, as I look at all of this engagement, and I look at what's going on in this account, I can see an opportunity. I saw that they have the product diesel, hybrid diesel generator. I see they are very interested in sustainable energy, but I look at this little campaign here called diesel hybrid fuel generator, where we are only reaching out to one contact. Now, here's an opportunity that you can increase the buying group here with people who are interested in sustainable energy, because they will very well be interested in this kind of a hybrid generator campaign. So this is where what Rob was talking about, that now that you have all this first-party, third-party data together, you can now leverage this data to create AI models for opportunity. So we are, and we can actually create qualified opportunities and send it to sales. So I'm now going to hand it over to Karthik to really talk about the power of AI and data towards the buying experience.
Thanks, Srishti. Hi, everybody. All right, so I think the real opportunity that's available now, as we bring all this like first-party data and all generative AI and all that stuff together, is to rethink sales from the buyer's perspective. Now, this is something I'm really excited about. We brought our commerce technologies together with our revenue capture suite now, and what that does is it allows us to create this real compelling self-service experience, which does not have to be dumbed down like a typical self-service typically is. You can do it at the complexity of your business. So let's take a look at this. And we'll continue with the same example. So Supremo Power is our fictional power company. They sell generators and solar equipment, etc. Healthco is a very responsible healthcare company, which has, though it has 120 sites, they've invested in like backup power generation and all that stuff. Tim Anderson here is the facilities manager. He's responsible for the contracts, and it's one coming up for renewal. So let's dive in. So now we can generate an email notification, which actually makes more sense than just saying, hey, renewal's due. I mean, this one's, we've read your, what we've done is we've seen the usage, we can give him the choices that he needs to make, and what might be a better option for them when they're going into this, now understanding their usage a little bit better, right? So he looks at this in his email, wants to get in, and now he goes into this curated buying experience. Now this is, if you notice, this is a fairly complex offering, but you get a very curated, well-described, easy to understand set of options that now Tim can look at and evaluate carefully, right? Now this is what you would expect like a highly paid, highly experienced sales rep to do, right? Like, just really describe what the problem is and, explain it to somebody. You don't need to do that manually anymore. I mean, self-service can enable this. That's the power of generative AI here. Let's go in a little bit deeper. He wants to know a little bit more about that option. Now you can take what has been a traditional quote with 1,000 BOM items, and you can make it a lot more easy to understand, descriptive. So it's all about so he can understand what he's really buying. Now the BOM's still there, of course, because all the data is still there. And you can essentially go in there and configure a particular thing. And now configuration, which traditionally is a relatively tough thing, is also visual, guided by generative AI, because we understand this person's role, we understand what they have actually bought. It's a very immersive, easy to understand experience. Now he wants to hand this over to his CFO, because not every purchase is done by one person, right? It's a buying group. Now she comes in. When she looks at the screen, it's not the same screen she's looking at anymore. She's much more interested in the financial aspects of the deal. And generative AI now expresses the details of this opportunity, this offer, in her terms, in the one that she cares about. And now she can choose which way she wants to buy, look at the various rate plans, all of that stuff, right? And she can make the right choice. This is, again, a highly curated experience. A typical sales rep would do this, but we can do this self-service now. And this is, I think, pretty much game-changing. And then finally, she can go ahead and place an order. So much so that in a self-service experience, we can actually make a full-fledged proposal, right? Which is absolutely signage ready, right? You can actually sign and close. I wish every deal closed like this, and I'm sure you all do too, but I'm just showing you how far this can go, right? And you can really bring the power of self-service all the way to the end, right? So now I'll hand it over to Jim to tell us a little bit more about what he's doing with service.
Great, thanks, Kartik. Now let me share with you how my teams are using AI and data to deliver a complete service automation. And when I say complete service automation, I'm not just referring to the automated customer engagement part, but rather the entire service lifecycle. And to show you how serious I am, I'd like to announce that Fusion Service is introducing automated service agents. Let me show you how it works. Oracle believes automation can handle the vast majority of service engagements, with your agents only assisting when automation reaches an obstacle. This will increase responsiveness, quality, ultimately elevating the entire customer experience. The image behind me represents the flow of inquiries into an organization. Automation is answering and resolving the service interactions below the line. However, occasionally, a service interaction cannot be automatically resolved. So it knows to escalate to a human agent for help. Let's drill into one of these so we can see what's happening. Most of what you'd see here would normally happen in a matter of milliseconds, so I'm going to slow things down to human speed so you can see what's happening. Here we have AI running within the Fusion workspace. To the left, you can see the actions AI is taking. The automated service agent has analyzed a service request, looking for knowledge articles that may be able to help. In this case, it didn't find any. So now the automated agent is searching through the organization's entire corpus of resolved service requests in hopes of finding a lookalike. And as you can see in this case, it found 3. So based on this new information, AI can determine the likely root cause and automatically create an action plan to correct the issue. However, as I've said, AI will occasionally need help. In this case, an anomaly was detected as a result of a backordered part. So situations like this are where humans play a pretty valuable role. When the anomaly was detected, the service request was automatically escalated to our agent, Alex. She can see in the activity feed everything that has happened with the request so far, as well as the exact step where the anomaly occurred. AI has even presented her with a potential solution to clear the obstacle. In this example, the system has located a similar part from a third-party supplier. It just needs approval from Alex to place the order. So Alex approves. With the obstacles removed, automation continues executing the action plan. Its first step, generative AI creates a message notifying the customer of the issue. Once sent, it begins ordering the required parts, preparing the necessary work orders, and in this case, even scheduling a field service technician to complete the repair. Once the automated agent has completed all its steps, John can travel to the customer site to complete the repair. Any notes or information he collects while on site are recorded for further training our AI models, making the automated processes even more efficient. And there you have it. We've engaged with the customer, diagnosed the problem, determined the appropriate steps to resolve the issue, and executed on that plan. And we only needed to click once. This is the future of service. Automated, precise, and at scale. So with that, I'm going to hand back to Rob for closing comments.
Thank you. Great job. Okay, you came to CX Gen AI Back to School Night trying to determine if little Billy could use his scissors or little Sally could recognize all the states on the map. Instead, you saw the complete transformation of sales, service, and marketing, the descriptions of Debold, Nixdorf, and CSG Group changing their businesses by thinking about one key thing. How do I unlock this kind of potential? By getting control and management and stewardship and care for my first-party data that can unlock generative AI flows across sales, service, and marketing to change your business. I invite all of you to think about this possibility, to think about how you could change your companies, to think about how you could change your industries. But you have to start with the first steps of getting the data foundation right and using the power of Fusion Embedded AI in these flows that you saw. We wish you the best of luck. We're thrilled to be your partner. And I want to say thank you all for being here. Have a great rest of the week.